Hey everybody, this is James. I want to talk to you about this website and this group called Divorce Lawyers for Men. It's at divorcelawyersformen.com, and it's a hustle and it's a con. And they refer you to attorneys who are not father friendly. If you're a dad, do not use this. And I'm a father who got full custody of my daughter without an attorney when she was 7 months old. And for 15 years, I've seen how divorce lawyers operate, and I've seen several years in particular how these people operate. Number one, these people get a 40% commission off of any referral. So let's say you go to Divorce for Men and you pick the Federal Way attorney who is Raj Bains, R-A-J-B-A-I-N-S. And I'll talk to you about what a psycho and a pervert he is and a hustler that he is also in a minute. Let's say you pick him. Divorce Lawyers for Men, the lead attorneys who are Frank Morris and, I forgot her name already, and Lanny Jean Sokol, those attorneys get 40%. So let's say there's a $10,000, just for simple math so everybody can follow. You pay a $10,000 retainer, which isn't unheard of. You pay Raj Bains $10,000, they get $4,000. But it's not just the initial referral. It's also every dollar that Raj Bains collects from you after that. So if you end up paying Raj Bains, and you're with him for a year, and you go through the divorce, and you pay him $100,000 over the course of that time, the Divorce Lawyers for Men, the two lead attorneys there, they get $40,000 out of that. So what does that usually do? An attorney who usually asks for, a $2,000 or $3,000 retainer, they're going to ask for another $1,000 from you because Sokol and Morris are going to want 40% of that. So there's no savings passed along to you. In fact, you're getting ripped off and paying more. Now, the hustle and con is that there's so many fathers out there who are desperate because the system is predominantly anti-father, that they'll say, oh wow, Divorce Lawyers for Men. These guys are like Goldberg and Jones, who also advertise as Divorce Lawyers for Men. But they're a bunch of hustlers, crooks, and cons, and sellouts to fathers because all they care about is money. And I have a whole page on them. You call Divorce Lawyers for Men, you think, oh wow, they must really fight for men differently than anybody else. No, they're referring you to the same incompetent hustlers, crooks, and cons who just want to take your money. And I've seen countless cases where people got referrals by Divorce Lawyers for Men or Goldberg and Jones, which is the other only father-friendly law firm, and they thought they were going to get something just because they titled themselves Divorce Lawyers for Men. Now, I call myself an advocate for, parents, but mostly for children. I care about what's best for children. But I'm actually somebody who actually won in court. I'm not somebody who's trying to hustle and take people's money and give them some bogus information or whatever, or, as an attorney would do, not fight for you and do it their own way and do it the easiest way to make as much money as possible for as little effort as possible, not going to trial, not fighting, not doing a deposition, not filing a motion, or if you lose, not filing a revision or reconsideration. By the way, if you're on my website, if you look to the tab on your left, there's a tab that says For Parents Free Stuff. And there's a pamphlet on there that talks to you about how to light a fire under your attorney's rear or deal with them if they ripped you off or they're not following the rules of professional conduct and they're not communicating with you, they're not fighting diligently for you, they're incompetent, things like that. But that's really horrible, incompetent, stupid, or evil if they're not telling you that you have a right. I've talked to plenty of people who they come to me and they say, my attorney screwed me and we had this bad hearing, and I ask them, did your attorney tell you about your right to do a revision or your right to do a reconsideration within 10 days? And I'm not giving them advice that that's what they have to do. I'm just asking if their attorney told them that they have that right. There's so many people who say my attorney, who makes six figures, makes $200 to $400 an hour, doesn't even tell me that I have a right to do that. So these are the types of lawyers that Divorce Lawyers for Men is referring you to. And they're taking 40% of what you pay them. So the lawyers are probably jacking up the prices so they could still make the same profit because they don't want to lose money. Now the other thing that's really crazy about divorce lawyers for men is people like Raj Bains. Again, that's Rajbains. And you'll see below on my website, below this video, you'll see Raj Bains' parenting plan because he's a father who was divorced. And guess what? He's permanently restrained from one of his children because he smashed her brains in and almost killed her, and she's permanently disabled because of that. And Raj Bains actually has a different name, and he changed his name. And he makes a good $50,000 a month because hustlers like Divorce Lawyers for Men, Miss Sokol and Mr. Morris, refer people and funnel them to Raj. Even though he has a parenting plan, which you can see right below this video on my website. If you're on YouTube and you're on my website, you can go to my website and check out this page talking about how corrupt Divorce Lawyers for Men is. You can see in sections 2.1 of Raj's parenting plan that he committed domestic violence and he also abused a child, and the category of sexual and physical abuse of a child was there. So he's also a sexually deviant pervert. And Divorce Lawyers for Men wants to refer you men to an attorney who can't have a relationship with one of his kids because he smashed her brains in. If you go to their website, the address for the Federal Way attorney is the same address as Raj Bains. They don't give you the name of the attorney, but that's his address. And if you call that number, you'll get Raj Bains. And I'm putting, just in case Divorce Lawyers for Men gets wind of this video and they fire Raj Bains from their network, right below here, I have a PDF and a picture of their website showing his address, because they'll probably delete it after this. So they don't do their research. So if they don't know one of their attorneys smashed in the brains of a kid on a kitchen countertop, how do they know that they're a father's rights friendly attorney? If they don't know a major crime that that parent committed and the sexual problems that he had with the children, or maybe it was his children, maybe it was some other children, but it says the sexual abuse of children is checked in there, and domestic violence is checked in there. So he's a violent man who abuses children. If they're not looking into that, then how can they tell you and convince you that he's a father-friendly divorce attorney? Now, I've had fathers who use Raj Bains in my office, and he told them, we can't even do this, we can't even try. Or he went into court and he fumbled at his words, and he was nervous and shaking and fumbling and bumbling. How can that happen? The only reason that can happen is if this is a total scam. And it is. Don't use Divorce Lawyers for Men. If you see on their website, and I'm pulling it up now here, they have 16 or 20 attorneys they refer to. So think about that. They're getting 40% of commission off of that. They're making a killing because they put Divorce Lawyers for Men on their website, and they sucker you, desperate father, because you're desperate, you're sick and tired of the attorneys who don't try and fight for you. Then you see one who specifically advertises for fathers, and then this Morris guy brags about 30 years of helping fathers get custody when nobody else tries. But he wants to refer you to a sexually deviant pervert who beats up his own kid and can't go near his own kid. Is that the type of father that Attorney Morris would fight for? That's the type of father that that's the type of professional he's referring you to. So if you got a father-friendly divorce attorney, you probably don't want one who beats up kids or sexually commits sexual misconduct with kids. But Divorce Lawyers for Men want you to have him because Raj Bains will charge you up the yin-yang and probably do little to nothing for you because he's too busy in his own case harassing his wife and going to court litigiously and relentlessly for frivolous motions that he actually keeps losing. Because I checked some of the file in his case with his wife, and he has an attorney from Curry and Williams. He has the Williams attorney from Curry and Williams down in Auburn, which is a corrupt hustler con law firm, and they don't care about the merits of a case. All they care about is going to court, making a bunch of money. they're actually really cowards. They don't like to go to court too much. So in this case, Raj Baines writes all the paperwork for the attorney and pays him good money and talks him into going to court over and over and over again. But everybody's greedy. Everybody's trying to make money. So is divorce lawyers for men. Do not use them. The Raj Baines scenario should be enough to convince you not to use them. But the 40%, actually on its own, is a reason not to use them. Because people are going to jack up their prices so they still make the same money. It's a hustle and a con. Just like Goldberg and Jones. So don't leave Divorce Lawyers for Men's website and then go to Divorce Lawyers for Men or Father's Rights Attorneys or whatever and go to Goldberg and Jones. You're going to the same corrupt, incompetent hustlers who actually at Goldberg and Jones, I'll say this right now, and I got a separate video for that. I talked to a lawyer who used to work there, and he said they created the moniker Divorce Lawyers for Men or father-friendly attorneys, whatever slogans they use. They did that, and they laugh at how many people come in desperate because of that moniker that they have. So they are using that because they know the need, but they're laughing because there's a revolving door of guys who come in and at least get an initial consultation. And if they don't use them, they constantly have that revolving door, and it's a constant income that comes in. And then they also retain clients permanently, or for a period of time. And a lot of them find out that Goldberg and Jones is full of it because they just want you to settle and they don't want to fight that hard and they want to make easy money like the rest of the attorneys out there. So don't use Divorce Lawyers for Men or Goldberg and Jones. You have my word on that. It's a hustle and a con. Period. End of story. And unless somehow they can convince you, Mr. Morris or Miss Sockel, who I assume that she might be a mother, I don't know why she would want a sexually deviant father who smashes the brain of his own daughter and permanently damages her, and he's restrained from her. I don't know why Miss Sockel would refer you to a man like that. That reflects on Morris and Sockel at divorcelawyersformen.com. Don't use them. You'll regret it.